It was 7 in the morning, almost the time when you should be on your way to your work, but today things were different. You stare at your reflection in the mirror, makeup bag open, you have just smudged a bit of red on your nose for effect. You messed up your hair to look like you haven't slept in days, and even boiled water to make steam for a sick room effect. Your friend was on FaceTime. You're really doing all this just to skip work? Shh, it's not skipping, it's called strategic wellness management. Also, it's Sophia's wedding. I can't miss it just because Mr. Ice King thinks people shouldn't have personal lives. You took a deep breath and coughed into the air, practicing your sick voice in front of the mirror. Mr. John, you rasped with forced weakness. I can't even get out of bed. My head is spinning. I think I just saw a white light. Then you added a few fake sneezes for dramatic effect. Perfect. You sounded like you were on the brink of a Netflix documentary titled Tragic Flu Gone Too Soon. You tapped Jungkook's contact name and hit call. It rang once, twice, and then he answered. Yes, his voice was cold, clipped, and intimidating as ever. He sniffled like a dying kitten. Sir, it's me. I don't think I'll make it today. I woke up with a fever so high I'm surprised I haven't evaporated yet. There was a pause. Is that so? He asked. You nodded instinctively, then remembered he couldn't see you. Yes, my throat is on fire. My voice is going. My legs feel like jelly. And I'm 90% sure I lost consciousness for 2 seconds in the bathroom. You fainted? Twice, you replied quickly. Once in the kitchen, too. I dropped my toast. It was a tragedy. He spoke again, calm and flat. And what is it exactly that you want? You gasped as if the word was hard to form. Leave. Just for today, please. I don't want to infect anyone at the office. I wouldn't forgive myself if I coughed near the copier. Cut to Jungkook's side. He was sitting at his pristine large desk, dressed in black, sipping espresso. Calm, too calm. He glanced at your calendar that he always keep a copy of without you knowing. Bestie's wedding, marked with hearts and sparkles. Oh, I see. So this illness, it came suddenly. You sniffled, like lightning. 1 second I was fine, the next I was talking to my wall thinking it was you. He didn't reply, so you coughed violently. I swear I tried to fight it, but I think the virus is winning. Cough. Oh no, not again. And you sneezed. You literally sprayed some water into the air to make the sound more believable. Did you just spray something? Your eyes widened. It was literally impossible to fool him. No, that was my lungs misting. I read somewhere that it happens in critical conditions. Of course. Should I call an ambulance or your family? You acted overly emotional. No, I don't want to worry them. If anything happens, just forward my office playlist to my funeral. Approved. He replied completely unbothered, making you startled. What? Leave approved. Just don't email me any last words. I don't have time to reply. Thank you. You're so kind. I'll remember this when I cross over. You try to control your excitement. With that, he ended the call. The moment the call was cut, you jumped on the bed, throwing your scarf like a victory flag. I did it. Operation Sick Leave Success. Nancy burst into the room holding your dress for the wedding. Did it work? You grinned. He totally believed me. He even told me to survive. I have never felt so blessed. Great, now let's go to the wedding. You both started jumping like excited kids. Cut to John Jungkook's office, 7:15 a.m. He stared at your email that popped up as soon as he went to emails. Thank you, sir. Dear Mr. John, thank you for approving my leave despite my unfortunate health situation. I will take this time to recover and return stronger and less contagious. Warmest regards, your barely alive secretary. He leaned back in his chair, lips twitching slightly at the corners. You really went all in. He didn't respond, he just stared at the screen for a few seconds longer, his expression unreadable. Then his phone buzzed. He picked it up and saw a message from his brother. Don't be late, idiot. It's your own brother's wedding. Try showing up before the cake this time. Jungkook stared at the message. Another buzz followed. Oh, and by the way, the bride's best friend is in charge of everything. Total chaos in heels, just your type. Jungkook's thumb hovered over the reply button, but instead of responding, he stood up, buttoned his blazer, and grabbed his car keys. Sick leave, huh? Let's have a surprise meetup, Miss Secretary. He walked out of the office without another word. You stepped out of the car and took a deep breath. The evening air was soft and fragrant. The sky painted in hues of gold and lilac. Laughter echoed in the background. Fairy lights sparkled along the archways, and a distant pop song thumped through hidden speakers. You smoothed down the flowing skirt of your deep green dress, adjusting your earrings, and looked at your reflection in a window. You don't look sick at all, she teased, coming up behind you. You grinned. Miracle recovery. I should probably call the medical board and tell them I'm a one-person vaccine. Together you walked inside, greeted by a wave of color and movement. Guests dancing, waiters passing out glass of fruit punch, kids chasing bubbles near the fountain. The bride, your bestie, spotted you from across the lawn and squealed. You came. You hugged her with so much love. I would never miss it, fever or no fever. Even the plague couldn't keep me away from your big day. Congratulations on your big day. She looked a little worried. Are you sick? You chuckled, shaking your head. It's a long story. We'll tell you someday. By the way, congratulations. You look so beautiful. They both hugged as well. Thank you so much, and you guys are looking amazing. So do you, like an actual princess. But let's be real, I'm here to eat cake and embarrass myself on the dance floor. Same, just after I legally trapped someone into loving me forever. Three of you burst out laughing. Soon your old colleague friends joined the circle, hugging you, yelling your name, pulling you into group photos like no time had passed. Is it true you work for some super strict corporate guy now? You sighed dramatically. Yeah, my boss, the human version of a Monday morning. But be honest, he's hot, right? You glanced around like you were about to confess to a federal crime, then leaned in and whispered, to be very, very honest, yes, he's hot as hell. Your other friends grinned. Oh, like tall, intense, always in these ridiculously tailored suits. He walks in like a villain in a slow-mo scene and talks like his voice was aged in oak barrels. Total heart attack. Damn, I want to meet him, she said, fanning herself while you felt your jaw tighten. No need. Why not? He's not interested in relationships, you said bluntly. Wait, why do you sound weirdly defensive? You look like you are jealous. You looked at her. What? No, I'm not. At all. Yeah, okay. You just announced he's hot, shot down any attempt to meet him, and declared his dating preferences like you are his personal spokesperson. Totally not jealous. She teased while you got defensive. I'm just stating facts. Facts, huh? Or feelings? You glared at them. I will stab you with this toothpick. They giggled uncontrollably. You shook your head, cheeks warm, but inside a tiny voice whispered, maybe I'm jealous, just a little. You were sipping a mocktail and trying not to trip in your heels when the playlist switched to one of your old favorite songs. You squealed, threw your arm in the air, and danced like nobody was watching except someone was. Jungkook stood at the edge of the lawn near the open bar, wearing a sleek black suit with his hair pushed back casually. He looked completely out of place among the pastel colors and floral decor, but he didn't seem to care. His gaze was fixed on you. You hadn't noticed him yet. You were too busy laughing with your friends, twirling and dramatically reenacting a dance move from college that absolutely shouldn't have made a comeback. He raised his glass, watching silently. You grabbed a plate and made a beeline for the dessert table. Cake before dinner, you whispered to yourself, because life is uncertain. Your boss better not see you now. Imagine him walking in and you're just face deep in chocolate mousse. You nodded. First of all, he's not a social person, so there's no way he'll attend a wedding. Also, he thinks I'm in bed with pneumonia. Unless he's got hidden drones, I'm safe. You turn around mid laugh, cocktail in hand, and nearly drop the glass. Because there he was, Jungkook, standing near the bar with a glass of champagne, like he owned the whole damn venue and your soul. Your breath caught, you panicked under your breath. What the hell? What is he doing here? How is this even possible? No, 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 oh my god. You ducked behind the cake table like a spy in heels. Nancy followed you confused. Okay, what is going on? You look like you saw a ghost. You peeked over a fondant tower. Worse, Jungkook, he's here. Nancy's eyes widened. She spun around in slow motion, scanned the crowd and spotted him instantly. Shoot, that's him. You hissed. Yes. What is he doing here? I told him I was dying this morning. I sent him a thank you email for granting me my final leave. Did he follows me here? I don't think so. Wait, don't panic. Maybe he just came to crash the buffet. Just then another bridesmaid walked past, overhearing. Oh, that guy? He's the groom's younger brother. Total heartthrob. Apparently, they flew him in from the city. You and Nancy. He's what? She grinned now. Oh, this is delicious. So you faked dying and skipped work just to end up dancing at your boss's brother's wedding? Karma is in heels tonight. You groaned and crouched further behind a decorative flower stand. Everyone was lining up, everyone but you. People were starting to look around. The coordinator was whispering frantically into a headset. The bride was glancing around with confusion, and you, still hiding behind a pillar near the fountain, whispering aggressively into your phone. Tell them I got stuck in traffic, or fell into the pool, or joined a yoga retreat in Bali. Anything, you told to Nancy. You are literally 15 feet away from the stage. You can see the bride. That doesn't mean she can see me. Suddenly, you heard familiar footsteps, slow, confident, and unbothered. You felt it before you saw him, that smug presence. And then came his voice, low and smug, like espresso with no sugar. Wow. You jumped so hard you nearly knocked over a potted plant. He smirked. You look way too fine for someone who fainted. What was it? Twice in the kitchen? Sounded serious. You slowly turned toward him with the world's fakest smile. I felt better. Miraculous recovery. He pretended to be impressed. Yeah, I figured it must have been divine intervention when I saw you sprinting past the dessert table like you were training for the Olympics. You blinked. I was checking for allergens. He raised a brow. In your heels? You were visibly melting. Some people wear sneakers. I suffer beautifully. He stepped closer, making your heart go boom boom. You do that well. Your mouth open and closed like a fish. He tilted his head. Tell me something, Miss Wine. Was the dramatic illness an excuse to doge work, or just to make your grand entrance here in green satin and glitter? Actually, I didn't know that you were invited to. Uh, I would never used wedding cake and sequins to avoid Excel sheets. He chuckled. Maybe not, but you did send me an email that sounded like a farewell letter. Well, if I had known I would run into my boss, I would have added a PS. Please don't fire me if spotted twirling under fairy lights. He leaned just slightly closer, his voice dipping. Oh, I'm not firing you. You blinked, but I might keep a photo of this moment to remind you how good your sick face can actually look. You covered your face with one hand. This is a nightmare. No, this is a wedding. And you, Miss Vine, are officially the most entertaining part of it. You were about to argue, but then the wedding planner found you, breathless. Vine, it's your turn. Go, go. You scrambled up like a deer caught in headlights. As you rushed past Jungkook toward the stage, he called out behind you. Try not to faint again. I hear third time's a charm. You didn't look back because if you did, you knew you would smile. The speeches were done, the dinner had been devoured. Fairy lights glowed like stars overhead as the DJ queued up the first slow song. Couples began drifting into the dance floor. The bride winked at you across the room. Then came her voice over the mic. And now it's time for my favorite people to take the floor. Ryan, my soulmate since 7th grade, and Jungkook, my favorite almost brother. Yes, I see you hiding near the bar. Don't act shocked. You froze mid sip of your mocktail. You looked horrified. She did not just. She did. She totally did. Go. I'm going to fake faint again. This time for real. You whispered. Too late. Jungkook was already walking over, hands in his pockets, smile so calm it made your nerves worse. Well, well, looks like fate isn't done messing with us. You laughed awkwardly, blamed the bride. She's a menace in Tulle. He held out his hand. You stared at it like it was a trap. It probably was, but you took it anyway. The music was soft, mellow, with just enough romantic undertone to make your brain scream. You stood before Jungkook, placing your hand gently on his shoulder as he slid his other hand around your waist. Why was it suddenly warm? Were the fairy lights too close? Still feeling miraculous? He teased slightly while you smiled nervously. Don't ruin this by reminding me of my very real illness. He chuckled. Oh, sorry. Should I carry you back to bed after this? Tuck you in? Maybe read your thank you for granting my sick leave email as a bedtime story? Your face burned. I hate you. No, you don't. You looked up at him. Mistake. Because that's when you noticed how close he actually was. How his smile wasn't cocky anymore, just soft, gentle, like he was letting his guard down, and so were you. You both swayed gently to the rhythm, words fading, the music becoming more than just background, and then he leaned slightly closer and said almost in a whisper, You're really bad at hiding. You blinked. Excuse me? He teased. You tried to disappear behind a plastic plant. At a wedding in heels, wearing glitter. I panicked, okay? You weren't supposed to be here. Neither were you, according to your dramatic email. You tried not to smile, but he noticed it anyway. You are cute when you lie. That did it. Your cheeks were on fire. You immediately looked away, pretending to focus on a candle centerpiece across. Don't say things like that. Jungkook lowered his head slightly. Why? You swallowed, because it messes with my ability to be annoyed by you. He laughed, actually laughed. The sound wasn't smug or sarcastic, it was genuine. Then I guess I'll say it more often. The music faded, you stepped back, hands sliding out of it slowly. Neither of you said anything at first, just that silence. The good kind, the kind that feels like something might start, but instead he winked and said, "Still think I'm not interested in relationships?" Your breath caught for just a second, but you recovered with a smirk and a tilt your head. I don't know. You might be, but clearly not with me. He raised a brow, the corner of his mouth lifting slowly. Who said I wasn't? He said, leaning in slightly. Your pearls jumped. You shrugged, trying to play cool. No one, I just assumed. Smart, attractive men like you don't usually go for their overworked, half delusional secretaries who fake sick their way into weddings. He grinned. Funny, that's exactly my type. And you didn't even try to hide your smile this time.